So here we have, I've already added some of the mash to my mason jar, and I'm going to pitch my yeast shortly. I'm also going to add some warmish water to this, so bring it about 80 degrees. And then I'm going to let it sit in here for about a half an hour. Now, I'm doing a butter rum, but my buddy here, Jesse on Stillet, and if you've never seen this channel, please go visit, subscribe to him. You're going to just love what you see on this channel. This should help you even more than I possibly could. But he is doing a Buccaneer Bob's rum. And he's also creating a Dunder Pit, which I'm not doing. Dunder Pit's a little out of my range for what I desire to have. So I am going to play with it, but that'll be on a personal scale. So not a... I just want to see what it does. But my yeast I'm doing is the Safe Ale BE 134. And the description of this is, you know, it has characteristics of some fruity aromas and all that, and a bit of a spicy character. This also has a good amount of banana aroma to it, so I'm looking forward to that. And the dosage for this is the one package to 20 or 30 liters. So one package per 5 gallons roughly, and that'll do. Now I have 30 gallons in there, so you'll see I have just enough packages here for my 30 gallons. Now when I use a bread yeast, the typical recipe I would use on a bread yeast is I would use 1 gram of yeast for every liter of mash. So you know, it's basically that's the rule of thumb for using a bread yeast. This one's probably a little more powerful. We'll see. I've never used this before. I have tasted it in the ales, and I do like what I taste. And so I'm thinking this, along with the butter flavor, should give me exactly what I'm looking for. At least that was my research. We'll see how it actually plays out in reality. Okay, so the yeast has been pitched, and we'll just give that a few minutes. And while that's expanding, and I'll watch it. And what I want to do is I want to see it. Once it gets up to about here, then I'll pitch it into my mash. And I'll rinse this out a couple times and just add it to the mash as well. So while I'm waiting, like you're watching this, I'll go down and watch one of Jesse's videos. Alright, so the yeast has already reached its top, and it's you can actually see it moving. You can see it growing. And it's not taking long. I better get this into the mash. I may not have time to video this. Now, if I lose that fork in there, I'm in trouble. There we go. Yeah, I'll add a little bit of this. Spin this around. Since I'm doing this one-handed, it's a little bit harder. And that's enough. I do not need to mix this together. The yeast itself is going to be in here, and it's going to do what it needs to do. So that's it. I'm going to put the lid on this after I do some work on my lid. This is a new fermenter. This one has never been used before. It is fresh. So I got a little bit of time. It's going to take about a half hour, 45 minutes before this actually starts doing anything. And then on top of that, about 2 hours, I suspect it'll be just blowing the lid off this thing. So what I need to do is I need to do my top, my lid. I need to put 2 holes into it. Now, The 2 holes are for a specific reason. The first one is, of course, for my off gas, my CO2. The second lid is for this. It's an aquarium heater. Now, we have a story here. I'm not quite sure if I've posted my other issue I had. When I was doing the... No, I haven't posted this yet. So this camera here is what I normally use to take videos. And the camera's fine, but the software I use is causing me some grief. And I have to relearn how to use it. That's why I'm late in getting a couple of these posted. So that's all the birdwatcher footage, and another batch, or 2 other batches I believe, were on this. They're all saved to the computer. And I will, as soon as I get a chance, I'll spend more time, learn how to use the software again, and get that uploaded. But just to recap, on the bird watchers, I use this aquarium heater. Now this is a 400 watt. It is a glass tube, but it's protected, so I wasn't too concerned. I didn't really want the glass tube, but the price is right, and I ordered this from Amazon or eBay. One of the two. And I put it in the bird watchers, and it was the very first use. And it just, the thermostat onto it, now it's a submerged unit, the thermostat onto it failed. And the mash drove up to about 135. By the time I measured it, after my wife shut off in the evening and I checked it the next morning, the mash was already at 126 degrees, so I figured it hit up to 135 easy. And it cooked all my yeast. I had to repitch that one, but I was still able to save that mash, and it was fine. So this was that aquarium heater. And you can see it actually got hot enough that it warped the plastic on this. It was incredible. I couldn't believe how hot one of these things got. So this one will go right where it belongs, in the trash. That one's garbage. And I wasn't planning on trying it again. I had ordered a couple of bands, heater bands, and I was going to hook up a PID controller to that, or an STC 1000. And I was going to go that route, but that's not arrived yet. So I ran out to the aquarium shop today, and I got this one. And it is a stainless steel with an outside controller and a separate thermostat. So I suspect that this one is going to be a whole lot superior. Nice thing about this one is I got it at a local shop, and if anything does happen, I'm going to monitor this sucker real close. If anything does happen, it does have a warranty, and I can get it replaced. Whereas on the other one that I just tossed, purchasing that online, although a great price, I mean, it was like an eighth of the cost of what this is. A great price. The shop that had it went out of business, or is no longer on the service. So I can't claim anything. I can't get any returns or anything. So this one's local. Any issue, I can take it back, get another one, and try it again. All right, maybe not. Maybe I'll switch over to the belts. But anyways, so we'll get this installed. I got to cut a hole in the lid for the fermenter. Get that in. Get it turned to 85 degrees, and we'll let that run. But I will be checking it often. All right, so this mash is done. The yeast has been pitched. The pH is good. Specific gravity is recorded. Temperature is being worked on. And as you saw, the temperature was a little bit low for where I'm going to be fermenting at, but it's not bad. And we have the aquarium heater in here. And I've got my temperature probe is in this one. And I sealed up the top. I've also got a bung in there pushing against the core, but I just sealed up just to be sure. And the CO2 is going to take the path of least resistance. So I'm hoping that that's the path. And the other one is in the probe for the heaters in here. Now I have to split the bung to get the wire in, and then I wrapped it all up in the tape, and I got it in there pretty good. So hopefully that's all well and sealed. I do expect this to be quite a violent ferment. And I've got the temperature set. We're sitting just under 85. So I'm going to leave it there. This is a 300 watt heater, so that's more than enough for this. And this one here is still fermenting away. Although it looks like it got a bunch of rum pieces onto it. That's fine. So, because that's an all grain mash, that's going to take a little bit longer. And I suspect this, being an all sugar one, is going to be done in about 3 or 4 days. But we'll let it go for at least a week. Then I'll schedule my time over at distillery. We'll forklift these into the back of the truck, take them over, and we'll fire them in the still and get them running. I'm going to be running that still for a long time, I think, with both of these going to be run off almost at the same time. That's going to keep me busy. So group, there you have it. There's a complete mash from beginning to end. Pretty much every step I've taken in there. And that is for the butter rum. Now once again, with the yeast we're using, it's going to impart a little bit of banana and a little bit of fruit aroma and a little bit of a spice. At least that's the grand hope. And that mixed with the butter rum process, when we get to the still, should impart something special. I've enjoyed this. This is a great mash to do. Nice and easy. I do like that aspect. And this one over here is still going. It's still bubbling away, so we'll wait for that to catch up. And next episode, we should be distilling this. Or this. One of these two. These are the only two I have in the fermenters right now. Everything else has been processed already. So, thanks for watching. If you've liked what you saw, hit the like, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And if there's something you've seen that you don't agree with, let me know. I'm still learning, and I hope you are too. So, till next time, if you can hit the subscribe, if you haven't done so already, please do so. It helps me a lot, keeps me going, and lets me know that you enjoy what I do. Leave a comment. Always happy to reply to comments and, hear from you folks. And if you're Canadian, definitely join. And ring the bell, Then my episodes don't come up on a standard period, so it's not every Thursday or every Wednesday. It's when I get them done. And as soon as I get them done, like this one here, I've just finished this, and I'm going to be posting this tonight, so you see it when I get it done. And until next time, happy distilling, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.